Escape room workers of Reddit, what's the most absurd thing players have done? 1. I interviewed for a job at an escape room. They told me that one of their standard instructions you must tell every group is to not stick things in electrical outlets because too many people did it. 2. Had a group come in, I noticed they had been drinking a little but seemed mostly fine. So I let them into the room and started the clock. They were just wandering around. At the half-hour mark, they were laying on the floor and rolling around. They didn't do any harm to the room. I don't remember if they even solved one puzzle. When I let them out after an hour, they claimed it was fun, but they didn't really do anything. 3. Escape room enthusiast here. We spent far more time than I care to admit trying to figure out what the hell the numbers written in Sharpie on the underside of the rug in the middle of the room meant. Turns out, they were an inventory number from the thrift store the designer bought the rug from, and nobody else had ever noticed them before. We still won, but that wasted a lot of our time. 4. I once had a group of drunk guys go in, and they ran through their allotted hints pretty quickly. They asked for another hint, and we said over the speakers that they were out of hints. One of the guys threatened to start taking off his clothes until we gave them another hint. 5. A mate worked at an escape room, and he told me that some guys tried to smash a hole in the wall to get out because it was an Alcatraz-themed room. 6. First thing I had to learn working at an escape room, everything in the room was going to be dismantled, pulled on, or messed with in some way. Have a screwdriver in the room? Maybe there's a clue in the light switch cover. Black light? Must have to take it completely apart. TV for clues? Must have to unplug and change inputs. And anything not nailed down is bound to be broken. 7. One of them believed the clue was inside them. 8. Some guys got very drunk and, during the escape room, thought they could escape via the sewers. They managed to rip out the manhole cover, which was bolted down into concrete. This cover is now permanently broken because it's too expensive to fix. They advised us to not escape via the sewers. 9. I don't work at one, but my coworker went to one last year. He's a really serious guy from Boston and got talked into going with his wife and a few old friends who had come down for vacation. He said as soon as they walked in, he saw a broom that looked completely out of place, so he grabbed it. He thought they'd need it at some point. They made it out of the first room. They got to the second room, and he was still carrying the broom. He swore it was too out of place to not be part of the puzzle at some point. They made it through the second room. In the third room, they got stuck. They read the clues over and over, but he was fixated on the broom while everyone else searched the room. He was looking it over up and down, checking the handle for markings and checking the bristles. Time was running out, and he started arguing with his wife, insisting the broom had the final clue. Time ran out, they walked out, and the crew was dying with laughter. Someone had left the broom by mistake, nothing more, nothing less. He carried that damn broom through 3 rooms. He got a good laugh about it later, but he was embarrassed at the time. 10. One time, a group was trying to figure out the code to a locked compartment. A huge guy in the group decided it was a waste of time and tried to rip off the compartment door with his bare hands. He was almost successful, but we stopped him before he could do further damage to the door. He didn't understand what was wrong.